What does it do for you?
Hey, man, if I didn't, I'd have a bad day. Yeah, I'm a really moody guy without it. And it just, it smooths me out. As soon as I take it, I'm a whole different person. I'm boiling.
Yeah, I feel the same way sometimes. It makes me nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, calms me down.
I like who I am when I smoke. You know what I mean? When I weed, I don't sometimes like who I am sometimes. That's just the real sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy.
Well, I was talking to Michael Irvin once. He was explaining to me that when children grow up in high-stress environments, that their genes are wired to have a propensity towards violence. That
Yeah, I agree.
when their mother's under extreme stress, if they
I
live in a
agree.
bad neighborhood, and it's hard for some people like yourself that did grow up in an environment like that to ever reach where you're at right now. And if you can do that through marijuana or whatever it is, yoga, meditation, whatever you do to get there, like, we should be happy that you can get there.
I am so grateful that I embarked on this. I've never been a person to this at this magnitude, at this kind of relaxation. I was very uptight. I was very uncomfortable with myself.
Did you feel any better after you worked out when you were young like that?
Absolutely, but my works out. You know what? The best thing that ever happened to me that I retired from boxing, because me working out and me getting, I was so intense with this. My whole objective was hurting people and wanting to be the best, and my ego took over, and I'm like Tyson, I'm the best to ever live, and all this bullshit. And dealing with my partner Rob Hickman, I happened to embark on this, come across this thing called the Toad. Are you familiar with the Toad?
Yeah, what you're talking about is 5-methoxy-dimethyltryptamine.
Oh, that's it right there, yeah.
Yeah.
And I came across that, and I've never been the same. I look at life different. I look at people differently. And the experience I can't even express, really. It's almost like dying and being reborn.
Yeah, I had the exact same experience. That's what it felt like to me, too. Like, you stop existing. The 5-methoxys, there's two.
Tell me, what's the deal with it?
5-methoxy is produced by your brain, but what it is it's DMT with an oxygen molecule attached to it. And then 5-methoxy-dimethyltryptamine is DMT with there's a very subtle change to the molecule, and that subtle change, for some reason, takes away the visuals. You've done regular DMT too, right?
Yes.
Very strange, bright, colorful, impossible to describe visuals.
It's inconceivable.
Inconceivable is the best way to put it.
Yeah, inconceivable.
Yeah. But
I try to explain it to some people, my wives, and I don't have the words to explain it.
That's exactly what I always say. I've done a terrible job explaining it to everybody every time I've tried. But all those things, they give you perspective.
It's almost like you're dying, you're submissive, you're humble, you're vulnerable, but you're invincible, still in all.
But you feel like you're part of the universe. When you're separate from your ego, you realize this whole thing, you're a part of this whole thing, and this whole thing is unstoppable. It's a gigantic, huge, all-encompassing, almost like a living thing. Life.
Joan, this is what I also realized, too, after going through that experience. You realize how insignificant you are sometimes without your ego.